Poland Daily Business Edition, and we are monitoring the events in the Near East where Turkey attacks Kurds. Kurds are fighting back. All that is better visible from Lebanon, Beirut, where our correspondent Paweł Rakowski is based. Sir, welcome to the show.
Bonjour, bonjour. Welcome to Lebanon.
And let us start from the Israeli journalist Seth Franzman, who for the Jerusalem Post wrote as follows. Americans armed, trained and encouraged the SDF to liberate wide swatches of Syria from ISIS, only to turn around on October 6 and, under the leadership of US President Donald Trump, give Turkey the open skies and borders to attack US partner forces. And how is it being seen by the United States' allies, like Israel, for example?
Well, they are horrified and terrified by this. Now we can see, now we can understand why for the last several weeks the tension between Iran and the Arab world got slower and weakened, especially in the Saudi, especially in Israel. Israel is very deeply concerned about this American movement. I mean, redeployment from the Kurdish Turkish area. Why? I mean, first of all, the Israeli now they have Yom Kippur and the biggest Jewish holiday, and they remember the Yom Kippur War, where in the 1973 they were surprisingly attacked by the Egypt and Syria. And of course, they only managed to survive, and they only managed to push back the enemy only by the United States support. So of course, the American involvement in the Middle East it's the highest Israeli priority, and the question comes: what will happen when the Americans will remove itself from the Middle East? Of course, for Israel, it's a nightmare. The same nightmare is for Saudi Arabia, which it's the closest. I mean, one of the we don't know if Israel or Saudi Arabia is the closest, but at least it's the longest ally. The ties between the United States and Saudi Arabia last from the 30s, from the 20th century. And of course, now we understand that all those pro-war rhetoric, which was in a couple of months before, was just an illusion. Why? Because Saudi regime and Saudi army gets beaten in the Yemen, and it has its own internal problems. Said Hassan Nasrallah, the Hezbollah leader, said that Saudi regime soon will collapse. Nasrallah, it's not the man who says the words just out of to talk. There are more serious reasons for it. And Saudi, especially Saudi and the Emirates and all of most of the countries of the Gulf, they are connected to the United States, and the United States gives them security. And so what will happen to them when the U.S. security umbrella will disappear? It's hard to imagine.
United States are saying that we've been protecting this area for years, mainly due to the amount of oil that United States has to secure in order to fuel its own economy. Right now, the United States' economy is fueled mostly by domestic oil, and the United States is becoming not only the largest producer of this resource, but also the exporter. So they have too much of it and can sell it. This is why, despite the tension of on the Near East, we don't see the significant increase of the oil price. So how do you think will look the world after the United States will pull from the region?
First of all, China China and Russia are welcome. Yes, now all of the commentaries from the Arab world says that during the Cold War era, the Arab world was divided into the pro-Soviet and pro-Americans. Now we can see that something new may happen. That all of this area gonna be under Russia influence, and of course under Chinese influence. And nobody knows how it's going to look. And of course, if the United States is going to pull back or at least limit the interests of the of this region, China will benefit. China needs resources. China needs oil. China needs gas. China needs almost everything what the Middle East can offer, and they can only benefit. I mean, at least I can say from the Lebanese soil that the Chinese are kind of. They bought almost the harbor in Tripoli on the north of Lebanon, and all the goods which are going now to Syria, to the northern Syria, to Aleppo, to an Arab called Halep, are going just ships to one place. Then the buses or the trucks going to the other towns and villages, and the business is done. And of course, this business is it's without American involvement and without their gains. Definitely, what I can say that Vladimir Putin, he became a friend of everyone here. He's now the best friend.
To wrap up this discussion, do you see that the pullback of the United States forces from northern Syria is a beginning of the tidal shift in the geopolitics of that region?
Definitely. It's the Russia and China are going to are welcomed now to the Middle East, especially that the Americans are kind of during this Donald Trump presidency are very pro-Israeli. So it's like. To get the balance, the Russia it's very welcomed. Why? First of all, Middle East remembers that at least President Putin, it's kind of the loyal person to his ally, to the Bashar al-Assad during the almost 10 years war. He didn't do anything towards harm his Damascus ally. Loyalty it's very important. Second thing, business. China comes with the big money because even though Americans they less need the oil and gas, but the China do. And as we know, they have money and they like to buy, and they do not interfere inside the state's political systems, regimes, or whatever. They make just the business. For the Middle East, it's also perfect. So yes, definitely, lack of United States going to be filled with the other powers. Are the Turks one of this newborn power? We will see. I mean, there are many doubts about that, and especially that the Middle East. It's not welcoming the new Ottoman Empire that President Erdogan is proposing. What is the new proposition for the Middle East? We can see in the near future. Definitely, it's going to be a little bit shift over. We need to remember that Gulf states, who are the closest American allies, feel threatened now. But also we can see that Iran it's looking forward towards any compromise on its terms. Yesterday, the head leader of the Islamic Republic, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, kind of resembled his predecessor words, Khamenei words, that Iran doesn't want that for Iran. Perspective nuclear haram according to Islamic law. So we can see that the lack of America in the Middle East can bring new quality, but we don't know what this new quality means.
Paweł Rakowski reporting from Beirut, Lebanon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And that was it for tonight's Poland Daily Business.